This is a practice. You will need to lie down comfortably in Shavasana, and we will explore the Koshas, the Pancha Koshas. So this is a relaxation practice, a philosophy practice. If you're unsure about the Shavasana posture, please refer to the introduction on Shavasana in a previous video. And when you're comfortable lying on your back in Shavasana, close your eyes and take your awareness inwards. Relax deeply behind the closed eyes. Feel the contact with the ground through the back of your body. Just be aware that you're breathing without trying to control your breath. And become aware of the 5 layers of yourself. Pancha means 5. Kosha means layer. The outermost layer of yourself is your physical body. We call this the Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food. And it represents the muscles, the joints, the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, the skeleton, and all that is your mechanical body, your automatic body that you can move consciously. And as you bring awareness into the whole of your physical body, when we look at the koshas, we try to identify areas that are weak, perhaps, and tense, and stress. And this awareness of stress in the layers is crucial to understanding where we are, how we feel, and at what level we need to bring attention to that which is stress in order to heal, release that tension and stress wherever we find it. And so really observing in your physical body where you feel that tension now, where you feel that stress. Is there a part of your physical body that aches? Is there some old injuries that still play up? Are there some new tensions today, some new stresses in your muscles that are unfamiliar and that are just here now? Okay, so then moving through to the prana maya kosha. Still we're thinking of the physical body, but we're going internally towards the organs and the functions of the body, and not so much within our physical control. Autonomic systems of the body. Prana means energy, means life force, and we could subdivide the pranic body into 5 different divisions, but we don't have time in these short 10-minute practices to go so deeply into the subdivisions of prana, pranamaya kosha. You can observe how you feel in terms of how your energy feels. Do you feel sluggish? Where is the tension? Where is the stress in your energy levels? It's all to do with digestion, circulation, nervous system, endocrine system, all of those internal functions that maintain some homeostasis in the body. And when one area is sluggish, slow, hypoactive, it can quite often cause our energy to feel sluggish and slow. And some of these systems can be hyperactive as well, and that can make our energy feel very scatty. A lot of us are really restless, anxious, and perhaps we don't sleep well. Perhaps if we've been unwell, perhaps if we've been ill, then on some level one of these internal systems will be out of sync with the rest of the body. And so just really rest for a moment in awareness of where you carry stress, right, on an energetic level, on a pranic level. We will move into the third layer, which is the Manomaya kosha. Mana is to do with the mind. So we're going into a sort of different aspect of layers of the self. We're starting to go into the consciousness of the self. And this is more to do with our habitual consciousness, the way that our minds work on a sort of moment by moment level. Thoughts are a bit like the breath or the heartbeat. We are thinking all the time. The mind is like a monkey mind. It's very busy, and at some level we're not even aware that we're thinking. But our thoughts are intimately connected to our emotions. In fact, emotions happen much more quickly than thoughts, and then we have a reaction towards an emotion, and then that becomes a kind of combination of thoughts and feelings. And it's at this level that many of us just remain, almost not observing or noticing. But there is a huge amount of stress linked with the way in which we do not manage our minds. And so, of course, in our yoga practice, developing a meditation technique and a way of detaching yourself and observing how you think and what you feel is really important to then going on to the deeper layers of consciousness and understanding. So as we move into look at stress in your basic level of conscious awareness, and you'll probably find that if you're not used to meditation practices, that there is massive amounts of stress on these levels, and of course that mind body is not separate, and of course that's going to manifest as tension in our pranic body and in our physical bodies. So just starting to link the layers. They're not separate, they are all interactive, but just beginning to be aware of this combination of layers. So as we move into the fourth layer, we move into Jnanamaya kosha. Jnanamaya is much more to do with the wisdom mind, the intuitive mind. It is a higher level of consciousness. On the sort of lower level, on the Manomaya kosha level, we are subject to what the brain perceives, and we're not in control. But Jnanamaya kind of shift that around so that we then start to use our ability to train our minds so that the brain becomes our servant. We can train the brain to learn new things. It has a huge capacity to do whatever we ask it to do, really, and it is our choice. And where is that choice coming from? Perhaps even something higher than Jnanamaya kosha, to train our brains to do things that we want them to do. The mind, the brain becomes our servant. We can learn languages, we can learn an instrument, we can expand our information base. All of humankind's great advances in transport, communication, medicine, art, science, travel, all of these things are based on this ability to engage with the Jnanamaya level consciousness of ourself. And then so for now, just being aware of your stresses and tensions around your intelligence. Are you using your intelligence to its full capacity? Where are the stresses? Where are the unused capacities within your knowledge, your higher mind? So then moving into the deepest level of the self, this is Anandamaya Kosha. Ananda means bliss. And at this level of consciousness, there is no stress, because when we reach this level, there is stress if we engage with this level and find ourselves lacking in the spiritual qualities of forgiveness, love, gratitude, appreciation, compassion. There are so many spiritual qualities at which we don't engage. But so that is the stress. The stress is the incapacity to develop this deeper spiritual level of our being. But when we do reach that level, and when we do start to work with these higher spiritual qualities, then we develop a oneness and a unity and a connection towards all living beings. There is no separation between ourselves and all of the other life and life forms and energies that are constantly surrounding us. We are all one. We are all part of the universe. We are all part of life. And when we dissolve our individual being into the level of oneness with all other beings, where there is no separation, then that level of stress on that deepest level of the self dissolves. So perhaps paying attention now to where you hold resistance, stress towards the levels of gratitude, forgiveness, being grateful for yourself, forgiving yourself, loving yourself, being compassionate towards yourself, giving yourself, first of all, huge, vast quantities of these spiritual qualities so that you fill yourself in abundance with these qualities. And once you are filled with these things, then you can pass that on to others. And so just rest now for a few more moments and breathe and feel that the breath moves between all the layers of the self, from the outer layers of the physical body through to the energetic body, the internal functions, through to the mind, your habitual conscious thinking mind, through to your intelligent wisdom mind, and through into your spiritual level of being, and that there are no separations between any of these things, that they actually all do flow together, and you are surrounded by them as they are incorporated into you, and there is no separation.